Hello everyone, I am FIDE instructor Atul Dahale and welcome to Chess Olympiad 2022's official YouTube channel. Today I am going to show you a spectacular game played by our very own young Indian grandmaster R. Praggnanandhaa. Yes guys, in the second round of Meltwater Champions chess tournament, R. Praggnanandhaa has won against former world number 2 Shakhriyar Mamedyarov in a very convincing manner, and that's what we are going to see in this video. So guys, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. So let's begin. In this game, Praggnanandhaa was white and Mamedyarov was playing with the black pieces. They started with d4, d5 was played, c4 and then c6. This is the Slav opening. For the young player, playing Slav opening needs to have a lot of understanding, that too against a strong player like Mamedyarov. But Praggnanandhaa did not disappoint us. He knows his stuff. He knows how to play in the opening and against the best players, I am to say. So knight f3, knight f6, and now he goes for very rock solid e3 move. Here other alternatives are also there. Knight c3 was one of the alternative. Even bishop f4 is also there. But Praggnanandhaa says, I'm going to play to the basics of chess, like sticking to the center of the board. Okay, so now here Mamedyarov goes for bishop to g4, h3, immediately kicking away the bishop from there, bishop h5, and now he plays knight c3. Developing the pieces is very important concept. See guys, I will tell you one thing, that in chess, when you are playing the opening phase, you need to develop your pieces as quickly as possible. The player who gets his pieces early in the opening phase usually gets some advantage in the middle game. Okay, I'll be talking about other features about the opening, so just stay tuned with me. So here e6 was played in order to open up this bishop. Here Praggnanandhaa goes for queen to b3, putting some pressure on b7 pawn. And just to let you know, in one of the games, queen b6 was also played between these two players, and they exchanged the queens and the game went on to the little bit queenless middle game, you can say, but still Praggnanandhaa managed to win. But in this game he played queen c7 and now he goes for g4. This is a very interesting move. He's not going for solid moves like bishop e2 or something, which was equally possible, but he goes for g4, and now the positions dynamics have changed. Here he goes for bishop g6. Of course bishop needs to be saved. Knight e5. Putting the knight in the center of the board is always a good strategy, but here the idea is to capture this bishop. But in general, whenever you put the knight in the center of the board, what happens? That knight becomes the octopus knight. Why? Because it controls 8 different squares. As you can see, I am highlighting those squares. And knight, when it controls 8 square, we call it octopus knight. Worth remembering, right? Okay. So here knight d7. Of course, as I said earlier, the idea is to capture the bishop. So he captures the bishop. H into g6. Now the question remains the same. Why did he go for the bishop? The thing is that in this position the bishop was active, and as they say that we need to try to exchange our opponent's active pieces. Okay, that's why he went for it. Bishop to g2. Of course there was a simple threat of knight into g4, because if you capture the knight, the rook on h1 is hanging. So he understands all the small threats. He plays bishop g2 supporting the rook on h1. Now g5, so that white will not be able to play g5 move by himself. Here bishop d2 was played. Now Praggnanandhaa is showing that he is going for the kill, because he is going to play very aggressive chess. Of course by playing g4 he has made his intentions clear, but now after bishop to d2, it is not just a developing move with the bishop, but he is also intending to play long castle in this position. And we know this thing, that whenever the long castle happens, the fight is going to be very interesting. Bishop to e7, and now he goes for long castles. Now knight comes to b6 square. The c4 pawn is under attack, so he plays c captures d5, c captures d5. Of course Mamedyarov wants to open up the c5 so that he can put up some pressure against Praggnanandhaa's king. He says like, okay, no problem, king b1. I'm going to put my rook here and going to put the pressure on this queen on c7 square. Mamedyarov quickly places the knight on c4 square. Bishop is under attack, so Praggnanandhaa wants to put the bishop on the board, so he plays bishop to c1, b5. Now as you can see, the flank attack is going on. I'll tell you one thing, like what is meant by flank attack. Okay, so if you divide the chessboard in two parts like this, okay, these two files are the central files, okay, and other side, this is called as the queen side, because usually means not usually, always the queen is placed on this square from white and black side, and the kings are there on this square. So this is the king side on the right side, and on the left side it is the queen side. So whenever somebody pushes the pawns on any of the flank, it is or on the any side, it is called as the flank attack. And usually the flank attacks are countered by the center breakthrough. So here, of course, like e4 immediately is not that good, but Praggnanandhaa understands this thing that he needs to do something related to the center. So he goes for f4 move. Okay, now b4, the knight on c3 is under attack, so he plays knight e2, pawn captures pawn, knight captures pawn, and now he plays g5. The knight is under attack, so knight goes to d3 square, and knight is going to be like, it is creating his own chances to jump on c5 or e5 square. Of course, if he gets the chance to play on e5 square, that will be a good square for him. Okay, the knight on c4 is controlling that's e5 square. Right now it is not possible. a5. Mamedyarov is very clear that he wants to push as many pawns as possible on the queen side, so that the king on b1 will be feeling a little bit uncomfortable. So Praggnanandhaa understands this thing that a4 is the threat, so he plays queen to a4 in this position, stopping everything, and now check is there. Okay, there are two choices here. Mamedyarov can play queen d7 and offer the queen exchanges, and that is a possibility. Like, you can capture it here, knight captures here, and Praggnanandhaa might have gone for e4 breakthrough, because like here, if you capture here, bishop will be opened up. That is the one thing. It will be having some pressure here, and this knight is also there, which is not that doing that great job, and the bishop is also doing, and this rook will be coming on e1 square, or maybe you can play for h4. Means there are some possibilities. d5 is also a possibility, so the game will be opened up. And one thing is clear, that when you have two bishops on the board, you should try to open up the game in order to open up your bishops. So this might be favorable, slightly favorable position for Praggnanandhaa. So here he plays king f8, which is in a way a little bit risky decision. Okay, so here Praggnanandhaa understand this thing that king is little bit weak and he needs to do something on the king side. So he goes for h4 move, knight captures on g4, h into g5, and now plays king g7. Everything seems to be balanced till now, that black is controlling everything. He is trying to defend the position. The rook is also open, but Praggnanandhaa came up with a beautiful move in this position. He plays g6, trying to destroy all the equilibrium which is there in the position. And now here, if you capture the pawn, which was not captured in the game, knight f4 is a very strong move, attacking the pawn on e6 square, threatening the threatening the knight fork and winning the queen. Queen d6 is one of the moves which is possible, but knight on f4 is not only attacking the e6 pawn but also the g6 pawn. So here a good move is queen c2, going for this pawn on g6, and there is only one way by which you can stop this attack, that is like e5 move. Okay, rook h6 is a possibility, but that would lead to complete destroying the position, this check, and the knight on h6 will be falling and black will lose the game. e5 is the move which is a possibility, but even after that the d5 pawn is going to fall, because after this bishop into d5 is there, knight e6 check is going to come, rook f1 is going to come, and I think black is just going to be checkmated very soon. So he did not go for this f into g6, he played knight c captures e3, and now he plays g into f7. He's not worried about the rook on d1 or the bishop on g2. He said like, okay, if you want to capture it, no problem, because all I want is to open up the king side. Once the king is completely exposed as it is in this position, black is going to be doomed. Okay, so knight captures on g2, rook h g1 was played, and now he plays rook to h2. Well, you might say that the knight on g2 is protected, what to do, but Praggnanandhaa has seen something more. He has seen that bishop f4 is a very strong move in this position, and after knight captures f4, rook g4 check. Okay, the king cannot really go to any safe squares, and knight into f4 is also a threat. So he plays knight g6 in this position, and now knight enters into the center, knight e5. And as I said, octopus knights are very, very strong knights. The knight is attacking the g6 knight, and the rook is also there, so it is almost a difficult position, you can say. Mamedyarov tries his last chances. He plays b3, going for queen c2 check, and maybe capture here or here and checkmate. So of course it is captured. Rook b8 is played, attacking the queen on b3 square. Now here Praggnanandhaa said, let me capture your knight, which is free piece here, king h7. And now any normal player will go for something moves like queen a4 or something, so that you can save your queen here, and then the chance is like just capturing all these pawns, and black might be having. And another thing is that the king might get checkmated also. But Praggnanandhaa has seen something deeper in this position. He did not just capture the knight on g6 just like that. He had seen something more. Guys, you can stop the video and think about it. This is the most crucial move in the game. Here, I hope that you have stopped the video and thought about it. Here, the best move, which blows up everything from black side, I mean to say, is rook g2. A very spectacular move played by Praggnanandhaa, and here Mamedyarov decided to throw in the towel. He resigned here. The reason is, if you capture the queen, then rook captures rook, check. Here king g7, and now of course other options are, but rook g1 is the simplest option. King f6 or king f8, it is going to lead to a checkmate only. Here rook f2 check. Now rook f3 is the only chance, and rook into f3 is going to be leading to a check and mate. So amazing game, and there is a 4-match game, 15 minutes plus 10-second increment is there, but Praggnanandhaa managed to win against Mamedyarov, the former world number 2, in just 3 games. He won 2 games with white pieces and drew 1 game with the black pieces. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Do like this video and share this video with your friends also, and stay tuned for us, because we are going to have lots of interesting content on this channel. Do subscribe to the channel. We'll be meeting very soon. Till then, take care. Goodbye. See you then.